Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed, Shlita. Well, we're already well into our week, continuing with our study of the laws of the state, Dina de Malchus Dina, other topics. We continue to ask that you daven for Chayalei Tzvagana Yisrael, for Shalem al-Cholam Yisrael, safe return of our hostages. We dedicate our learning Le'ili Nishmas, Seren Daniel Shimon ben Harav Daron v'Shelei Hashem Yikom Damo. Here we go. Ad כה דיברנו על הכלל ההלכתי דין מלכות הדין, הקובע שישנו תוקף הלכתי לכל מס ומכס שהמלכות מטילה על תושביה. So we've spoken until now about the law of the land, we call Dina de Malchus Dina, and as regards to making laws, for instance, taxes that the government will put on its residents. Atan Nosif, let's add, shetokfam ala mesim mininas Yisrael, that discussing the taxes or whatever fees people have to pay in Medina Israel are more obligatory, we'll see what he means, as opposed to other places where one lives. That's because the government of Israel was chosen, it was voted, elected by the majority of the population. So we introduce a new concept here. The government of Israel, aside from having rulership, what we call malchus, also has something called chaver ir. What is that? Chaver ir, chaver ir are the people, the leaders that were chosen by the townspeople or by the community. So in the Gemara, we refer to them as Tuvei Ha'Ir, the finest or the good of the city or the good of the community. And the Rosh writes in his Chuvas in Klal Vav, Semen Yotes, it's clear that whatever the Tuvei HaKol, these individuals, agree to do, whatever institutions, whatever laws, decrees they make on individuals and on the community, they are binding and they must be upheld without even establishing a kinyan. And everything that they say, it's as if they are written and sealed. And he further writes, they even have the power to punish those who do not follow their institutions. There are a number of interpretations and explanations given for this halacha. The Mabit from Yishai Detrani, one of the Italian scholars in Torah, he writes in his Chuvas in Chuva Gimel, Reish Chav Ches, Mashma shahatokef alachti shel takanos hakahal noveh minhag. It seems that the strength, the halachic teeth of these enactments of the kahal, they come from minhag. Because the way it went is that the community would conduct their communal affairs by choosing leaders, and they would enact laws, decrees, taxes, etc., and penalties. So no single individual could cross them, could disagree with them, or decide not to follow them. And he had to follow the ways of the community. There's another opinion that says, when it comes to communal issues, that the congregation or the community, they have the law of partnership. Because if not everybody goes along with communal affairs, then it'll cause damage to everyone. So therefore, everybody becomes partners with one another in order to maintain the flow of society. Third thing he says is that the community has the merit of what's called chazaka. That sometimes, and it's always been the case, that when it came to individual matters, they would put that aside for the greater good. In other words, we'll give of our money for taxes because that supports the greater good of the community. And it's known that anything that the community has this sort of holdover, this chazaka, Ein hayachad l'chol levatla. So then no individual can abrogate it. Kamo l'mashal shvil she'over b'chatzro shel yachid uv'mechsher zman rav over bo rabim. So he gives the example of you have a path that goes through the courtyard of an individual. And after a long period of time, many people of the public go through it. Nikvo legabe halicha b'chazaka. So then it becomes already established that this is a public road. If ein balachatz yochel no yoser es harav melavor b'shvil shebechatzro. And therefore the owner cannot say at any point after people have been going through it for so many periods of time, oh, all of a sudden I want it for myself and I want to prevent the public from going through my property. And this is also the strength of the community because they can levy taxes from the individuals for the sake of the community. You might call this also an outgrowth of what we'd say eminent domain, things like that. But in conclusion, there is an absolute requirement that we have to pay taxes according to the law. Again, quoting from the Tzitz Eliezer, as we saw last time, whether it's din al-malchus din, the law of the land, or if the community enacts certain things, we have to follow along. We, as individuals, don't have the right to say, I don't want to follow it. And therefore, we have to go with the flow, pay the taxes, follow the laws, etc., etc., etc. We'll see more of this as we go on. But please, in the meantime, continue davening for Tzvagan al Yisrael, for Shalem L'chol Am Yisrael, safe return of our hostages. Please remember, Sarah and Daniel, Shimon Ben, Rav Daron, Shelley, Al Shevikum Damo. Thank you for listening. We'll see you here next time. Have a great day.